All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to our webinar today, where we'll be discussing our 2-week Transform Your Health Challenge. I'm Dr. Mark Van Hoekstraat. With me is my lovely wife, Dr. Colleen, and we have a very special guest with us today. So we're going to be discussing your health and more specifically about nutrition and how it relates to your health. It's become even more important in today's day and age, not only to nourish and fuel our bodies, but nutrition has also become a major source of toxicity and stress. So we're going to talk about a 2-week Transform Your Health Challenge to address that and teach you about proper nutrition and provide you with the tools, but more importantly, the game plan to take action and restore your health. So with us today, we have a very special guest, Dr. Josh Axe. This guy is a real powerhouse in the field of nutrition. He's a chiropractor, a clinical nutritionist, a wellness doctor, and a popular radio show host. He speaks all over the country. He's a best-selling author of 3 books. So buckle your seatbelts, get out a pen and paper. You want to take some notes today. Listen to what this guy has to share. So Dr. Josh, welcome.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Dr. Mark and Colleen. I really appreciate you guys having me on the call today. When you first kind of brought up this topic of this 2-week challenge, I think 2 weeks is a great amount of time because it's doable for everybody, yet you can see massive results in 2 weeks. In fact, I've had people who have lost, 10 pounds easily in 2 weeks and seeing really great results in terms of diseases reversing in their body, massive health improvements in terms of overall how somebody's feeling and looking. And so we're going to jump into some of the key components into transforming your health in just 2 weeks. And you can see up here, we're talking about doing this the beyond organic way. So there's a lot of people that go out and try and change their health quickly, but do it in an unnatural way. So we're going to do this not just in organic fashion, in a beyond organic fashion, using some foods that were created by a company called Beyond Organic and a man named Jordan Rubin, who's literally changing the health of the entire world. Jordan's the author of The Maker's Diet and good friend of mine. And we'll talk about that here today. To give you a little bit more about my background, I'm the author of a book called The Real Food Diet. I've had the great honor of working with some of our Olympic athletes. I traveled to London last summer and in 2009 started working with some of our Olympic athletes. You can see myself and Ryan Lochte there. Ryan Lochte is one of those guys, no matter who you are, you look really bad standing next to him. So uh, it's, but again, he's an amazing, amazing athlete. And I had a chance to work with him, which was cool. And also, I live today in Nashville, Tennessee. I owned a holistic health clinic here for 5 years, but really transitioned out of that clinic so I could help build an online health site called drax.com and get people health information on the internet. And then I do a lot of traveling and speaking. So that's a little bit about me, but really my biggest passion is helping people reach their health goals. There's nothing that gives me more joy than seeing a family transform their health. And part of this comes down to a health crisis in my own family. In fact, about 19 years ago, my own mom was diagnosed with cancer. And the first time we went through all the traditional medical treatments with her, she had chemotherapy, she had a mastectomy, and thank God she was brought through it. But really, after going through chemo, she was sicker than ever. And the second time she was diagnosed with cancer again 10 years later. The second time we followed a holistic approach and a lot of the principles that you will hear today, and her health and body were completely transformed. And today my mom's 60 years old. She's water skiing, she's running 5Ks and finishing in the top 3 at 60 years old. And she says she feels better now at 60 than she did in her 30s. So again, my real passion comes down to helping you get healthy and well. And I tell my patients, I treat everybody like they're my own family, like my own mother, like my own wife or family member. And so, really, some of these secrets I'm going to unveil today about nutrition, these are going to help you burn fat fast, but they're also going to help you get healthier and reverse disease. There are going to be 3 keys to transforming your health. One of the first things we want to do is address toxicity. We live in a toxic world today, and we're exposed to toxins. Actually, according to the research, we come into contact with about 80,000 toxins on a yearly basis. And toxins can cause you to store body fat. They can increase your risk of cancer. Actually, according to the Columbia School of Public Health, 80% of cancer is due to toxicity. So getting the toxins out are a huge deal. Number 2 thing we want to do is reduce your cortisol levels. We really want to balance out your hormones. This is a big deal for men and women. If cortisol stays high, it causes you to age faster. So if you want to look younger and feel younger, we have to get your cortisol levels balanced. This is so important. And number three, we've got to focus on your digestive health. Your digestive tract affects every other aspect of your health, and balancing out the good and the bad bacteria is very, very important for that. And you'll find that a big component of your health starts in your gut. So those are the three things you're going to learn here as we go through this today. And I really know that by you learning these key principles, it can have really a radical difference on your overall health. And we'll talk about some of the foods and products that are associated with helping you overcome these health problems. So first thing here, I want to talk about probiotics and balancing out the good bacteria. And probiotics are responsible for more than just digestion. I think a lot of times, and by the way, if we would have mentioned the word probiotics 10 years ago, nobody would have known what we were talking about. But today, we're finding them on television, being promoted from yogurt companies and companies that produce things like kombucha. So we're seeing probiotics all over the place. And I'll tell you, almost everybody listening to this call right now is probiotic deficient. Reason being, it starts at birth. First off, if the mother doesn't have enough good bacteria, that can affect the baby. And then if a child isn't born through traditional means, if a child is born through a C-section, they never go through the mother's canal. And when you go through the vaginal canal, what actually happens is there are probiotics released into the newborn baby. So if you were born C-section, you already are probiotic deficient. And then most kids today are given high doses of antibiotic drugs sometime in their life. I ask this at my seminars. I say, raise your hand if ever in your life you were put on a prescription antibiotic. And almost every person raises their hand unless it's typically a chiropractor's child for the most part. But most children have been put on antibiotics at some point, which not only kill the bad, they kill the good bacteria, those probiotics, and that can really weaken the immune system. And then if you're drinking fluorinated and chlorinated water and then just not getting enough probiotics in your overall diet, all of those things cause us to be probiotic deficient. So probiotics, by consuming more, it's going to improve your digestion. It's going to boost your immune system. It's going to detoxify your colon, and it's even going to help your body balance out your hormones. In fact, there are 10 times more probiotics or bacteria in your gut than there are cells in your body. So getting this balanced it's essential. In fact, some of the symptoms that you may not have enough probiotics, one is a food intolerance or a food allergy. That comes typically from a condition called leaky gut. It's where gluten or casein or albumin from eggs, these proteins can leak through your gut, recirculate, and cause inflammation. So if you have any food allergy, that's a big warning sign you have gut issues. Any sort of bloating, acid reflux, any sort of diarrhea, constipation issues, or just in general, any skin issue, eczema, psoriasis, and weight gain. These are all warning signs that you probably need to work on your digestive health, and probiotics can help repair your gut and really help heal your body. So you've got to be getting more probiotics in your diet. And the top probiotic rich superfood in the world that you can consume that can transform the health of your gut is a product called a Mossy. Raw cultured dairy products have tremendous benefits. And when you are looking to take a type of probiotic, you want to look for something that has a lot of different what are called strains or species of probiotics. Amasi has about 30 different strains, and different strains are beneficial for different things. So, for instance, have you ever heard the word acidophilus or the word bacillus? These are common probiotics today, and certain probiotics are good for different things, just like uh, certain antioxidants are good for different things, or certain vitamins or certain minerals. It's the same thing with probiotics. So some probiotics help boost your metabolism. Some probiotics help with digestion. Some probiotics help kill off candida and yeast and E. coli. Certain species or strains of probiotics help improve digestive function. Some probiotics help your body produce vitamins like vitamin K. So you want to get a wide variety of probiotics. The problem is when you go out and buy, let's say, a thing of Greek yogurt today, you're typically only getting two strains of probiotics. Whereas if you're consuming something like a Mossy, you're getting in between 30 and 40 strains of probiotics, or else getting a goat's milk kefir from a local farmer, probably more like 15 to 30 strains. And so, but again, this Mossy product, it's a cultured dairy beverage that is actually still consumed today in areas of Africa, specifically Kenya. And Mossy is named after the Mossy warrior tribe. They're known as the dominant warriors in Africa. And actually, Jordan Rubin was on a mission trip in Africa, and he saw this group of people eating this dairy beverage out of a gourd. And he said, "What is it?" They said, "A Mossy." And he found that it really was what sustained that culture and made them the most vibrant, healthy group that he found in Africa. And so he came back here to the States, recreated it, and we're the only company beyond organic that creates this of dairy beverage that is this high in probiotics in the entire country today. And as we mentioned, supports gut flora, naturally cleanses the colon. Aside from probiotics, cultured dairy is also very high in omega-3 fats in CLA when it's from grass-fed animals. Also contains vitamin D, vitamin K, calcium, magnesium that help build strong bones. And one of the things that I think everybody should be focusing on as they're changing their diet, or as they're focusing on getting healthy, is there is a famous quote by the father of modern medicine, and his name is Hippocrates. And Hippocrates is famous for saying, "Let food be thy medicine." And so when I have patients come into me now, I typically, if they need to work on their bone strength, I typically do not give them a calcium supplement. In fact, most calcium supplements can be more harmful than good. So what I give them is things like a Mossy and raw cheese, because it has the four things you need to build strong bones. For your body to even utilize calcium, you also need magnesium, vitamin K, and vitamin D. And the only food in the entire world that has all of those in high amounts is cultured dairy like a Mossy. And so this is why I give it to all my patients on a regular basis, because of the probiotics, because of all of the high levels of minerals in there. And so, again, cultured dairy beverages, specifically Amasi, if you're looking to improve your digestive function, your immunity, you've got to do Amasi. Again, I start my morning off every morning with this. I do about 8 ounces. It tastes like a drinkable yogurt. That's the best way I could put it. Very much like a drinkable yogurt, a very mild sour taste, very, very rich and creamy. So it goes great in a smoothie. So I do that every morning for breakfast. The second thing that I try and get in my diet on a consistent basis is a cleansing beverage called cultured whey, also known as Suero Vive or Suero Gold. Suero means whey in Latin. Now, here's the thing that is really significant about cultured whey. It has the proper ratio of electrolytes. Electrolytes are specifically minerals like magnesium and potassium and sodium. Here's how this works. Uh, Sodium and potassium are responsible for two things in your body. And by the way, there's a lot of cleanses out there today. Right now, we're talking about a cellular cleanse. There are cleanses like colon cleanses. There are, kidney cleanses. There are gallbladder flushes. So there are a lot of ways to cleanse, but I believe cellular cleansing is the most important. And the reason I believe that is your body is made up of around 60% pure water, and your body is made up of 75 trillion cells. So all of your cells are kind of like little lakes. And if you want to heal properly, your cells have to be getting new water and nutrients in and flushing old waste and toxins out of your cells. In fact, scientists call the function of your cells, and what I'm discussing, it's called your body's sodium potassium pump. So it acts like a pump to where your cells bring in new nutrients and it flushes out old toxins. Well, your cells can be like a swamp where nothing is getting in or out, or your cells can be like a springs of living water. So new water is coming in, old water is being flushed out and filtered by the earth. And that's how you want your cells to be. Again, thinking about your body being made up of primarily water. Well, the average American consumes 10 times too much sodium, but they only get 1/10 in the potassium they should be getting in their diet. And so sodium brings nutrients in, potassium flushes waste and toxins out. So if you are potassium deficient, your cells are not detoxing. This is a really big deal. cultured whey has the perfect ratio of potassium sodium, and it can turn on your body's sodium potassium pump and helps your cells function in that way. So essentially, this Suero Vive, it's actually the liquid that's made during the runoff that's made during the cheese making process. And if you've ever heard the famous nursery rhyme, Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet eating her curds and whey, the whey she was consuming was cultured whey. That's a fermented liquid that's made during the cheese making process. That's essentially a liquid that's very high in probiotics and very high in electrolytes, especially in potassium, so it can help flush waste and toxins out of your body. And one of the things that I've recommended my patients do over the years is a cleanse called the Suero cleanse. And what I have them do is remove food from their diet for 3 days and just drink this liquid. And I have them drink 6 bottles a day for 3 days, so 18 total bottles. And the other thing I will assure you is this is the easiest cleanse you'll ever do. I've done a lot of cleanses over the years, as I mentioned before. I've done colon cleanses, I've done the Master's cleanse, I've done veggie juice cleanses, gallbladder flushes, and I've actually done cleanses that taste like a mixture of motor oil and vinegar, and they were terrible. And I've done other cleanses that made me want to eat my arm off the entire time. And you know what I'm talking about if you've cleansed before. This is a cleanse so easy, my dad can do it, and that says a lot because my dad is a meat and potatoes guy, and for him to cleanse, uh, he doesn't. He actually didn't really know what that meant, so I had to explain it to him. But anyways, cleansing has so many tremendous benefits. And if your goal is you're the sort of person where you don't like slow results, you like fast results, this is the best way to do it. You can do a 3 day cleanse and you can see massive weight loss. The average person will lose about 5 pounds in 3 days. I had some people, I had one male lose 11 pounds in 3 days doing this. Uh, we'll see increased energy, improved digestive function, improved appetite control. This is where your sugar cravings can decrease because as you balance out the good bacteria in your gut, you'll crave less sugar, and then healthier skin, hair, and nails. This is also the fastest way to reduce cellulite. One of the biggest causes of cellulite is fluid retention. And when you balance out that sodium potassium pump, your cells immediately start reducing their fluid, and that's one of the biggest causes of cellulite. So you'll notice that your skin will get more firmed and toned. Cellulite will greatly go down in just 3 days, and this is doing the Suero cleanse. And again, this is a really probably the fastest way for you to see results through doing a cleansing program. Now, I want to talk about some herbs, 3 specific herbs that I believe to be probably the most prominent in overall health benefits. And those 3 herbs are milk thistle, turmeric, and holy basil, or also known as tulsi. And I'm going to start off here talking about milk thistle. Today, if you go online and you do a Google search, even after this call, and you look up number one detoxifying herb or top 5 liver detoxifying herbs, milk thistle will show up number one or on the list of every single chart. And that's because there are so many medical studies proving that milk thistle supports detoxification. Specifically, it supports detoxification of the liver and the gallbladder. And it does this by boosting two in what are called intracellular antioxidants called glutathione and SOD. That actually stands for superoxide dismutase. But these antioxidants help improve your cellular protection. And milk thistle has been shown to cleanse your body from radiation, heavy metals, chemicals, also medications like antidepressants and statin drugs. If you've ever been exposed to any other food chemicals or chlorine or fluoride, milk thistle helps rebuild the liver and detoxify your body. So if you're looking for an overall liver and full body detoxifying herb, milk thistle is the best herb you could possibly do. The next herb I want to talk about is turmeric. And turmeric works by reducing inflammation and by acting as an antioxidant. In fact, if you do a search for the top 5 antioxidant foods, turmeric ranks in the top 5 in what's called ORAC score. So antioxidants protect your cells from free radical damage, helping you age. It protects your cells from becoming cancerous. And also, it is one of the top 5 anti-inflammatory herbs in the world, and that's because it contains an active compound called curcumin, and this curcumin greatly reduces inflammation, helps with arthritis, it helps you overcome weight gain, joint pain. So there are a lot of benefits, and turmeric is probably the most widely studied herb in the world today. There have been over 2,000. I've actually seen other quotes of 6,000 studies done on turmeric, and there are 40 medical studies that have been done out of the U.S. proving that turmeric can actually help kill off cancer cells. So if anybody is following a natural treatment protocol or a cancer prevention protocol, turmeric is probably the number one herb that's recommended today by medical doctors and by holistic practitioners as well, like chiropractors and naturopaths. So there are a lot of benefits of turmeric because it's anti-inflammatory and its antioxidants are through the roof. So great herb to be getting, and also helps support cleansing specifically of your liver and your kidneys. Now, one of the last herbs I want to talk about is an herb that's called holy basil. And holy basil is also called tulsi in India, and it's actually known in areas of Asia as the elixir of anti-aging. So holy basil has tremendous anti-aging benefits, and that's because you can see the dark purple leaves. I mean, what a beautiful plant. But that dark purple is indicative of a certain type of antioxidant that are in its leaves and its flowers. And holy basil is what's called an adaptogen herb, and adaptogens help lower cortisol levels and help you age slower. They help your body adapt and deal with stress. It also has been shown to boost an antioxidant called glutathione in your body. But these adaptogenic herbs, like holy basil, have massive, massive benefits. But if you're looking to balance hormones and age slower, this is probably the best herb you could possibly do on a regular basis is holy basil, and again, it's also known as tulsi in India today. Now, one of the most amazing other kind of superfoods that I'm a huge fan of is a type of seed. It's called chia or chia seeds, and these were consumed by Aztec warriors uh, hundreds of years ago. And it's also known again as warrior's food or runner's food. And it is your highest plant based source of omega 3 fats, highest plant based source of amino acids, 19 amino acids. And this is also great for athletes. In fact, there was a study out of the Journal of Strength and Conditioning, and recently, just 2011, that said chia seeds are just as effective at improving your energy levels and performance as a sports drink is, but without the bad side effects from consuming all the sugar. So chia seeds are actually starting to be consumed by a lot of athletes today, like triathletes and CrossFit athletes, because it's so great to be burnt for energy. But the other benefit of chia is it's great for supporting detoxification. It's great for hormones, and it is also good for detoxifying your colon. Chia seeds contain a type of fiber called soluble fiber that also support the growth of good bacteria like probiotics in your diet. Now, we talked about probiotics earlier. There are something else called prebiotics. So, prebiotics are kind of like the soil that probiotics have to grow in. So, think of probiotic as a flower, as a plant that's growing that feeds your body. Well, prebiotics are what the probiotics need to grow in. They're that good soil. So chia seeds are good soil for the probiotics. And that's why every morning when I do my superfood smoothie, I put in some of the Mossy we talked about earlier, that sort of liquid yogurt that's so high in probiotics. And I also put in 3 tablespoons of sprouted chia seeds in with it as well, because I'm getting probiotics as well as prebiotics both in that great form of fiber that is so good for the colon and for the digestive tract. And again, these are chia seeds, and chia seeds are the most nutrient dense seed in the world and one of the most nutrient dense food you could ever consume. Now, when you're consuming chia seeds or flax seeds, they're best sprouted. And most nuts and seeds, actually all nuts and seeds and all grains and all beans today, contain something called phytates, which are anti-nutrients. Essentially, that's what protects things like almonds or grains from being attacked by certain animals, from really protects them from predators and from degradation. So just like we have our own sort of defense mechanisms, well, plants have their own defense mechanisms as well. And this is also why, if you've heard of sprouting or fermentation, why Ezekiel bread is healthier than other forms of bread. Ezekiel bread comes from sprouted grains, and that's where you'll take something like a nut or seed or grain or bean, you'll soak it for about 24 to 72 hours. That kills off phytate, so now it's more absorbable and digestible. So whenever you're consuming seeds like chia or flax, they're best sprouted, and it essentially unlocks all the vitamins and minerals you can now consume, easier to digest, better for detoxification, and utilizing the nutrients in that food. And we'll talk about that more in just a minute. Now, one of the other sort of super sort of I would call this a super supplement we're going to talk about is a product line called Terrain Living Herbals, and we call this sacred herbs, and it is fermented turmeric and holy basil. We talked about turmeric, the antioxidant and anti-inflammatory benefits. We're talking about holy basil and its benefits as an adaptogenic herb for lowering cortisol and improving energy levels. But this is called sacred herbs because these are the most sacred herbs today that are found in India and most areas of Asia. And this is a fermented herbal. So we talked about uh, Ezekiel bread just a little bit ago and why it's better than other grains. Well, similar thing, if we look at turmeric and holy basil, they're more beneficial than regular turmeric and holy basil because they've been fermented in this Train Living herbal line. And this is something Jordan Rubin, who's the founder of Beyond Organic, and again, Beyond Organic is creating the world's healthiest foods and supplements. He fermented these herbs to make them more absorbable and to increase the benefits. And I'm going to give you an example of how this works with fermentation. What is the difference between apple juice and apple cider vinegar? Or what is the difference between cabbage and sauerkraut? Well, let's talk about apples and apple cider vinegar. If you go online and do a Google search of, let's say, apple juice, you're going to see more bad press than good because a lot of the apples today, they're higher in sugar. They a lot of them contain arsenic because of the majority of apple juice comes from China, so on and so forth. So apples have some benefits, but apple cider vinegar, if you go and look up that, you're going to see pages after page after page of health benefits of apple cider vinegar. Well, why? Well, it's because the apple juice or the apple cider has been fermented. That means that they've added bacterial strains called lactobacillus, and that bacteria, that good bacteria eats all the sugar up and creates more good bacteria and enzymes and causes the nutrients to be more absorbable. Actually even creates completely new vitamins that were never there before. And that's why apple cider vinegar today has been shown to lower cholesterol. It's been shown to promote support metabolism, a lot of benefits. Well, imagine an apple and creating apple cider vinegar, the big transformation there. Or let's say even now cabbage to sauerkraut. You turn cabbage to sauerkraut. Now the vitamin C in sauerkraut is 20 times more bioavailable. 20 times more, and there are 4 new cancer fighting compounds that are in sauerkraut that aren't in cabbage. Well, we're talking about cabbage and apples here. Now let's talk about the world's 2 most powerful herbs in turmeric and holy basil. What Beyond Organic has done is they've taken these herbs, they fermented them for 4 months straight, and it's created a super supplement with both of these liquid herbals. It's in a liquid form, so it's the most digestible. It contains 15 strains of probiotics. Also is high in something called organic acids, which is kind of what gives it its sour taste. Also called prebiotics, which support the growth of probiotics. But this is an incredible herbal line called Terrain or Terrain Living Herbals. And we have a lot of different herbs, by the way, with Beyond Organic. We have ginger Terrain. We have a kombucha. We have a peppermint. We've got a lot of different ones, cinnamon, garlic. But I believe this is the most powerful one we have because it's a combination of turmeric and holy basil together, sacred herbs. This is part of our terrain line. And I typically do about a tablespoon in water about 5 to 10 minutes before I eat a meal, typically, is when I actually do my sacred herbs and kind of getting my digestive system ready with all the probiotics there before a meal. So many benefits there. We've had people take this and they've noticed great improvements in digestion. We've noticed some people noticed improved lost weight. Some people noticed it really helped their complexion and skin. So a lot of benefits there with the sacred herbs. Now, one of the things that we've done with Beyond Organic is we've taken We talked a lot of the products we talked about earlier. We've taken the chia seeds and we fermented those seeds for 72 hours in a liquid form of holy basil and turmeric, like we just talked about, that sacred herb. So we soak the chia in there along with a liquid form of fermented milk thistle. So we soak it in there and then we dry it raw. And we call this terrain omega. Terrain because it can transform the terrain of your digestion in your body, but it contains milk thistle, which supports detoxification, holy basil, which balances hormones, turmeric, which helps fight inflammation and protects your body with antioxidants. And so this is called Terrain Omega, and this is essentially it in terms of texture, it's very similar to like a flax meal, only 20 times more powerful. But I do about 3 tablespoons of this every single morning in my breakfast smoothie with a Mossy, like I mentioned earlier, and see great benefits. Really helps support elimination, helps you feel full, and all the benefits we had talked about. Plus 2,000 milligrams of omega 3s there from the chia every single morning. Now, I want to talk about a couple products, and all the products I've talked to up to this point are part of a health pack that I'm going to share with you in just a few minutes. These next two products are not part of that, but I believe these are essential after you do your 14-day transformation program. I believe that these are the best two things to get on after you do that 14-day food program. And these are supplements. It's called Terra Firma. The other one's called Adaptation. But Terra Firma actually means earth or earth's cleansing elements. And this goes beyond traditional probiotic supplements today. It goes beyond other detoxification supplements in that it really are specific compounds from the earth. The first thing that this Terra Firma supplement contains is a compound called volcanic mineral clay. It's a form of clay that's been shown to be a toxin magnet, so it binds to toxins. The second thing is called Himalayan shilajit, and shilajit actually binds to toxins as well, pulling them out of your body. It also contains a prebiotic phage. Essentially, it's a type of organism that goes and targets and kills off candida yeast and bad bacteria in your body, and then 3 heat resistant strains of probiotics. A lot of people go out today and they take probiotics not realizing that the probiotics are dead by the time they're consuming them. So when you're taking probiotics, you want to get probiotics that are soil based, that are heat resistant, like we've put here in this Terra Firma product. And these are probably the 3 most powerful probiotics that I know of today. So this is Terra Firma, and this helps break the cycle of toxicity in your body. Like I mentioned earlier, toxicity is a major issue. During the Suero cleanse, that's going to cleanse your cells. Doing a cleanse with the milk thistle, that's going to cleanse your body of certain chemicals. Something like terra firma is going to bind, it's going to cleanse your body of bad bacteria. It's going to cleanse your body of also things like heavy metals in your system as well, and really bind to all of those things in your body. And so terra firma is so beneficial when it comes to detoxification and boosting immunity. But this is part of what we call with Beyond Organic our break the cycle program, of breaking the vicious cycle that toxins and stress can break on your body. So this is step one, breaking the vicious cycle of toxins. Step two is breaking the vicious cycle that stress can play on your body. And this is with a product called Adaption. Adaption is aptly named after adaptogenic herbs. We talked about holy basil a few minutes ago, but probably the 2 most powerful adaptogenic herbs you can take today are ashwagandha and rhodiola. We'll talk about those in a minute, but also there's a compound called green coffee extract, which today is known as the #1 fat burning food in the entire world. Now, green coffee extract contains something called chlorogenic acid, and this sort of healthy acid actually speeds up your metabolism rapidly and actually helps your body burn fat. So, again, green coffee extract, the fastest way to burn fat there. And by the way, adaptogen or adaptogens, as I mentioned earlier, help your body deal with stress, lower cortisol levels, balance hormonal health. They really help boost your energy levels as well. So, tons of benefits. And then ashwagandha is an herb that helps heal your thyroid and your adrenal glands. So if you've ever struggled with fatigue issues, like let's say you go to bed the next morning, even after getting 8 or 9 hours of sleep, you're still tired. That's a warning sign you have adrenal fatigue. Ashwagandha can help heal your adrenal glands. And then ashwagandha is also greatly beneficial for people with any type of thyroid issue, especially hypothyroidism. And then rhodiola, also known as rhodiola rosea, is an adaptogenic herb which a lot of athletes use today, as well as people looking to boost energy levels. And rhodiola helps your body burn fat for energy. So the way it actually helps increase your energy is by your body burning fat for energy. So again, it doesn't help with as much where green coffee extract helps you lose weight immediately. Rhodiola helps with long-term weight loss, and both of these herbs also help in lowering cortisol levels, but really help reduce stress on the body, and that's adaptogen. Well, I want to just say a couple last things here, and then I'll turn it over to Colleen. There, with Beyond Organic, again, I've partnered with Jordan Rubin, as has Dr. Mark and Colleen, and we've partnered with Beyond Organic because we really believe these are the healthiest foods in the entire world today. You know, when Jordan approached me about starting a company that was going to produce the world's healthiest foods and supplements, I was so excited because 90% of vitamins and supplements out there today are synthetic junk that these companies will pay pennies for the product and millions on marketing. They're absolutely worthless. And then also, most food companies today are producing foods that are destructive to your health. So I really wanted to be part of this mission and going out and changing the world of the health all over the country. And then I had talked to Dr. Mark and Colleen, and they were so excited because similar thing. These are the same foods they wanted to eat, what they wanted to be able to supply their patients with. And I know for myself, I get questions from my patients all the time. You know, Dr. X, what do you eat? Well, this is exactly what I eat on a regular basis. And the way Beyond Organic is set up is they ship these products from the farm. We own 10,000 certified organic acres of land. Around 8,000 of those acres are in Missouri, actually on the border of Missouri and Arkansas, in an area called the Ozarks. Beautiful land, certified organic spring water, and our animals feed on grasses the entire year. We also have a raw food manufacturing facility, but we don't go as traditional marketing companies work, or traditional, let's say you go to a place like Whole Foods, they actually go from manufacturer to wholesaler to warehouse or to advertiser to retailer. So they've got to pay all those people and mark up their products that way. Well, Beyond Organic doesn't work that way. We go from manufacturer right to what we call a preferred customer or mission marketer. And so they give us the money that typically the advertiser or warehouser would get. That's given to us. And an example of this is if you order 3 months in a row with Beyond Organic on auto ship, they give you a $50 gift certificate to get $50 in free foods and supplements. And every time you order 3 months in a row, through auto ship, they give you $50 more in free food. So it's an incredible program if you get set up as a preferred customer. It's very similar to getting started at, let's say, something like a Sam's Club member. You're now a member actually of Beyond Organic and a preferred customer with them. There's another way of getting involved. It's called being a mission marketer. That's where you become a distributor with the company. Hey, if you are interested in actually being on mission with us and getting your own website where you can refer people and actually work towards getting your foods for free, if that would interest you, you can email Dr. Mark and Colin at the end and say, hey, I'm interested actually in being a mission marketer. But again, two ways you can get set up, either as a preferred customer or a mission marketer. I want to give you guys an example of my 14-day transformation plan. In 3 of these 14 days, what you're going to do is you're going to be doing the 3-day Swero cleanse, and that's where you get a massive, massive jump start in your health. But every morning for breakfast, doing a superfood smoothie, about four ounces of the Mossy, 3 tablespoons of the Train Omega, maybe 1 scoop of a grass-fed whey protein powder or a sprouted brown rice protein powder, and then maybe like a half a cup of berries. But doing that superfood smoothie every morning for breakfast. For lunch, doing a big salad with large raw salad, avocado. Maybe you do apple cider vinegar or balsamic vinegar, some olive oil. But doing a big salad, you can throw chicken or salmon on there, or a big bowl of veggie soup. And obviously, there's some variety there, but trying to do a lot of veggies there for lunch. So a couple times a day, doing the sacred herbs, a tablespoon of that before your meals. We talked about all the benefits there. And then for dinner, doing meat and double veggies. You can do a grass fed burger with sauteed kale. You could do a turkey burger with cauliflower. You could do wild caught salmon. You could do coconut chicken tenders. So we can help supply you guys with definitely some healthy recipes and things like that, I'm sure. But this is a sample, and this isn't like a restrictive plan. Think about this. If you follow this plan for 14 days, I've had people who have lost 10 to 12 pounds in just 14 days. following this plan. And if you don't need to lose weight, you won't lose it, but you will feel better. You will see disease reverse in your system. So this is a sample of a 14-day plan. If you follow something close to this, your body will transform very, very quickly. And I just really invite you guys to join the revolution. That's myself there on the left, Jordan Rubin there on the right. We're drinking a bottle of a Moss. You can see some of our friends there. I was joking around with Jordan here, or not last month, and I was out at the ranch with him, and I was saying it looks like we're superimposed on there. I'm like, the ranch looks so beautiful, it almost doesn't look real to me, but that really is the ranch there, the Beyond Organic Ranch, where we have 8,500 acres specifically of organic certified land. You can see the cows there grazing on the grass. And that's part of our, just part of the ranch. Or actually, we're doing ranch trips in the future. Maybe some of you guys could come at some point. But really, just invite you guys, join the revolution. We're so excited to be transforming the health of the world. I'm so excited for you guys over the next 2 weeks, the massive changes you're going to see in your health and in your body. And I'd like to invite Colleen on the call now. Colleen, maybe we just have a few little sort of action steps people can take to how to get started in your 2-week transformation challenge.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Josh.
And Colleen, can you speak a little louder and maybe put the phone up to your ear?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
All right. The reason that we started this 2-week Transform Your Health Challenge is it just seemed, like you said, 2 weeks such a perfect amount of time for people to really get a jump start on their health, kick some of those cravings out, lose some of the pounds they've been trying to lose, but it's just a really great taste of what's to come. And sometimes some of the bigger programs that we do are just a little too comprehensive, a little too much to bite off for some people, but especially right now, this time of year, we're just about to go into the holiday season, and this 2 weeks is a really great opportunity to get a solid handle on your health before it gets totally out of control in the upcoming week. So there's so many reasons to do this right now. A 2-week program like this can very, very easily jumpstart your weight loss and your fat loss. Certainly, like you said, it's a great cellular detox. It increases your energy, helps you improve your sleep, clears the brain fog, certainly overcomes those cravings, those sugar cravings, carb cravings, and dependence on coffee and caffeine all day long. Improves digestion and bloating and, so much of what you said in as little as 2 weeks. It really, really is possible. So that's why we wanted to put together this program. And it's a very simple hand-holding program, we call it. It's kind of based on our wish list. Short of moving in with someone for 2 weeks, what could we do that would really walk somebody through the steps to regain their health, to either start the recovery process from something really, really serious, or just get back on a healthy track again, because we all get off track sometimes. So from us, from Dr. Mark and myself, we have put together daily coaching emails. So there's encouragement, there's tips and strategies covering everything from nutrition to exercise strategy, fat loss tips, sleep tips, and then, of course, included in that, part of the hand-holding is giving you exactly what to do each day. Eat this. These are great ideas for meals. Here's those recipes, how to make that. Here's what you need to get at the store to make those recipes. So we really just hand it right to people. And then we think it's very, very important that you have our ongoing daily support throughout each and every day of this program. So we've created a private participant forum, if you will, so that we can give you our ongoing support, answer your questions, maybe address some troubleshooting if we need to along the way, get really personal with people and help them make it work in their own lives. And then also we establish that sense of community so the participants can interact and share their successes and help each other along the way. And then as soon as somebody signs up and registers for the program, what we'll send them right away is an overview. It's like an e-guide to provide the fundamentals of eating well, moving well, and thinking well, obviously so that they can live well, not only during these 2 weeks, but far beyond for the rest of their lives. And we give them the tips and strategies, the information they need along the way. But there's also a couple bonus calls thrown in there with some special guests, some different health and fitness experts, top secret information only for those who register. And then one thing that's not on the slide that we've also decided to include, this is something that we do typically in our physical practice, but we're going to include our comprehensive metabolic assessment and our healthy living questionnaire, along with a complimentary follow-up consultation with Dr. Mark and myself, so we can give you an overview of maybe some potential imbalances or hormonal resistance issues that you might be experiencing.
Wow.
And then we can talk about some future recommendations as well. Obviously, a big one is that break the cycle system that you've already talked about, Dr. Josh. We believe that is so very important to maintain the great results that we know people are going to get during this 2-week challenge, so we can personalize it even beyond that.
Yeah,
So,
and that's so beneficial. I mean, the personalization, the added coaching that you guys are giving. I mean, a lot of times I know that when people go through programs like this, they're maybe given a manual and then there's no really follow up with it. I mean, the fact that you guys are doing so much sort of coaching and and I like to have my hand held when I'm going through stuff. I have questions, and so the fact that you guys are making yourself that available, that's I mean, it really kind of is what makes, I think, this program so awesome.
yeah, we are hand holders. So we also include so many of the products that you talked about, and for good reason. We've been paying attention to you and Jordan as Beyond Organic has gotten its legs and the power in those products that you've talked about. So it's no surprise that we've chosen to include the Suero Bees Cleanse and the Mossy beverages and the Sacred Herbs and the Train Omega. You get all of that in the program, and we teach you how to utilize those each day of your program, because it varies as the program goes along, so that you're getting the full cleansing and detoxification benefits, and you're gaining all that energy and clarity throughout your day when you're combining these things properly, along with real foods at the right time of day, to just assist your body to truly get well on every level. So, and we're doing this right now for just a crazy, insane price, especially when you talk about including some of this personal coaching and consulting with us. But this complete program is priced at only $249. So we think it's a great deal. We think it's a no-brainer, that this is a perfect opportunity to do something quick, easy, simple, where we tell you what to do, we tell you exactly how to do it, and it's super powerful for a great price.
Yeah, I mean, I would say really the evaluation you're talking about, and even just really just the information is worth the 249. I mean, probably closer to at least $500 value. And I can definitely see that. And I see launch date coming up is November 9th, correct?
Yeah, yep. Registration is open, and I know we've got our emails coming up here that you can contact us through. But the registration is open. It closes on Halloween. You get that last little sugar fix, and then you're done for a little bit here. So you get registered by Halloween. The program actually starts on the 9th of November, like you just saw there. And if you're ready to go, just shoot us an email. There's a couple emails there, info@drmomonline.com. Or you can email us at gethealthy@lifetimewellness.net.
Well, awesome, Dr. Colleen and Dr. Mark. I think this is I'm thrilled about this program. I know that as people consume these foods, follow these plans, I know they're going to see a huge transformation. I think you wanted to say something else, Colleen.
I was just going to say, if someone doesn't want to use email and wants to talk to us personally, you can also call our office. That number is 248-628-4886.
Awesome. Well, check it out. Send them an email, info@drmomonline.com or gethealthy@lifetimewellness.net. Hey, want to just say we appreciate you guys jumping on the call here. Dr. Mark and Colleen, I really appreciate you guys doing this 2-week program. I know that everybody who goes through it with you guys is going to see some massive transformations in their health and their life. Hey, thanks for listening, guys. Excited about your 2-week transformation, and we'll talk soon.